One for you. So this old grate, see, we sprayed the tub, new toilet. So this old green sink, I would leave it, but it's really bad shape. So I show you how to get one of these bad boys out. If you look underneath the sink, this old sink, so you got these little screws, flathead screws all the way around there. Take them out, and then you disconnect. On this here, I'm gonna have to cut my water lines and put new shut-off valves on it, and then replace all this. So what I have to do is just disconnect, take the P-trap out, take them screws out, cut the water lines, and then we'll go from there. So once you get the sink, the drain disconnected, water lines cut off, bolts out, phew, sink pops right up out of the hole. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work backwards. I went ahead and got me some shark bite shut-off valves. I don't really care much for them, but as long as you got a good clean hole, you know, you push it until it pops like that. That makes you install 1,000 times easier. Just make sure you got that little wider end. See, that one didn't pop all the way, so what I'll do, I get a pair of pliers, because my water line's wanting to slide, I get a hold of this water line like that. There you go. Now you turn the water back on. Now before I go too far, I'm gonna slide this out of here. This is trash anyways. Bam. So now I gotta open drain. So I'll loosen this up while I've got room. That way the new pipe slides right in the hole. And I always buy, because this is a bathroom sink, so it's 1.25 inches. So see, so she just slid right back in there, man. Like a little girl in the hole. So before I do that, I gotta put my slip ring on. Let me get another bag. There, I got that. So you gotta have your little nut on the end of it. You slide it in there. Now once I get the sink together and everything's adjusted, then I can tighten it back up. So the new sink is a nice, new sink. It's just a drop in. Put a little glue around the rim, drop it in. So before you go to start to put the sink in, you know, I always go ahead and put the faucet in and set my drain and put everything, build everything before you set sink in. So let's make sure that we're going to cover a hole. Ooh, it's close. So yeah, that'll work just fine. So before I get too crazy with it, I've already got the faucet installed. Okay, so they give you all kinds of little stupid ass gaskets. This is supposed to go around there, around that, and then you tighten it up. I never ever do that. I'm old school, so I always put plumber's putty on it. Get you a little bit of plumber's putty, roll it out like this, and then all you got to do is put it around. Let's see if I can get around here. You just put it around down in there, in that groove. I normally will put this on before I put it in there, but I didn't have it yesterday. And this is all you gotta do. You gotta make sure your hole is in the back, and then you just tighten this up and to pull that rubber washer, because you have this rubber washer that goes in the bottom. So you just torque that thing down. Take your time, because you're pushing that rubber. It takes a minute. Whatever. Make sure you keep it in the center, because that's where your control goes for your stopper. What I usually do, or I always do, is that once I get this all together, double check. So you start squeezing it out, and that's why you get that little bit of resistance. Okay. So once you get it in, and you get it all installed, you're not trying to one-time torque this thing, right? Just get it good and tight, So once I get the sink installed, my first thing is I'm gonna run hot water, just straight hot water. And what that'll do is it'll loosen that plumber's putty up, it'll loosen all this up, and then I can give my final torque on it. So let's go ahead and we'll put, I don't care much for these, they're kind of weird, but we'll go ahead and get this on. Okay, whatever, camera's being all stupid. So put your drop tube in there on this stuff. I don't really care for this stuff. It's got like a locking pin on it. But this style, that's weird. I've never seen one like this before. Weird. I don't know what to do with. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you get your holes, and this right here is adjustable. You just turn it and see how it climbs up it, right? And then it goes, pow, pops right in there. Ain't that neat? I don't know, really. And then this has a little groove there, and it's got a push button, locks it into place. I guess that's all right. And then you can turn it to adjust it. That's actually a pretty neat idea. So you pull up, pulls that up, stops it. So if you need to adjust it, you can. So you get better throw on it. That's cool. Anyways, let's get this installed. Unless you feel like being a ninja, always put your water lines on before you go underneath the sink. That way you don't have to, otherwise you're going to be crawling underneath the sink to get these on. And these are really nice because they got the big rubber boots in there. So you really just have to tighten them up by hand. That's really about it. And then these two go to your shut-off valves. So now that I have the sink basically built, so all I got to do is set it in this hole and then hook up the P-traps and 2 water lines. So what I want to do is I always use Power Grab, Power Grab all-purpose Loctite. This is really good stuff. It's a glue, so we'll just put us a little bead of glue around here. Now you can use silicone on this. You can use silicone on it if you want to, but this is my glue. So this will adhere and bond the two together. So will silicone, but what I'm doing right now is I'm gluing it down, and then the clean lady's gonna come in and she's gonna clean. And when she's done, I'll come back and run a bead of silicone around. Run a bead of silicone around it. Set this down over here. Not too worried about this. See, I really like this stuff, man. It's kind of stiff, but cool. So then we'll pick up the sink. We'll drop her in the hole. So you get that, and just squeeze her down. Okay. And then I got a little squeeze out, So we'll run the old finger around through there, get the excess glue off. I guess I should have done that after I turned the water on, huh? Let's go wipe this off real quick. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the trap on, hook my water lines up. Hook my water lines up. I usually give it a couple minutes before I hook the water lines up on this because I just glued it down. So if you move around too much, that force will cause the P-trap or the sink to move. Somebody's at my door. And the P-trap's gonna go right here. See, ain't that pretty? I need the upper nut. So you take your nut here, and you gotta put your little washer on there. The little cone washer goes on there. And that's still loose. And that's, check it out. So then all I gotta do is just move this out. Look at that. I'm a little tight. Which is a good thing. Let's get that in now. Get this all tightened up. This upper one on there. Okay, that's all we gotta do is tighten it up. Pliers, thingamadiggers. Go ahead and get these tight-ish. Remember, we loosened this one up, so I'm gonna have to retighten it up. Tighten this up again, just a little bit, not much, because that plumber's putty is going to continue to seep a little bit. Make sure the water's off, turn the water on. I gotta tighten that one up. The pliers, tighten these up. See, I just hand tightened that, and you can see just how good it is of a seal, that it's not leaking. So you don't have to like crank these things down, you just have to get them good and tight. A little bit, you can see how the shark bite's moving around, but that's pretty tight. So let's run some water. And make sure we ain't got no leaks. Just in case. Some hot water. Fill the sink up a little bit. Dump it. Everything looks good. And you can feel the pipe. It's not getting hot yet. I usually wait till that pipe gets a little warm. Yeah, it's starting to get warm now. Feels good. And what that pipe getting warm is letting me know that my putty's gonna be a little sloppy now. But loosened up. Just a couple torques, nothing major. Just torque it up a little bit. That should be good to go. So, a nice, you see how it's starting to putty up around there? Just take and wipe that off. Not a big deal. And this blue stuff is just plastic. It peels right off, see? Bam. Just peel that stuff off. Good to go. Like brand new, bro. Cool. Okay, so that's basically how you're gonna replace an old sink, old brown drop-in sink, with a new one. So it's a pretty easy job. Anybody can do it. Just need a couple simple hand tools. You don't have to use the same tools I use. You can just use a simple pair of pliers and a screwdriver. That's really about it. But like I said, on the glue, I'll show you. The glue, we have to clean this up a little bit. It's a little out. It's still dry or wet, so I can rub it off. Not a big deal. Kind of clean this up a little bit. It's not a big deal. Because the clean lady's gonna come and she's gonna mess this shit up anyways. So now that I got water over here, it's a little easier. Look at that hot water. But I'll take a little scraper, go around there and clean that edge up, and then once the clean lady comes, then I'll run a bead of silicone around that, because you don't want to leave that, because if you leave that, it's going to attract everything. It'll look nasty real quick. But like I said, if you feel best, you can actually just run a bead of silicone around that, set sink down, wipe the excess out, you'll be good to go. This is just, I like doing it this way because it's going to bond that faucet down, or the sink base, to the countertop. Cool? All right. It's just another hack, man. Have a good day.